Good afternoon. Pleasure to be here. And first of all, I'd like to congratulate Ballav for putting together this initiative. Please sit. So he's been working on creating the Bharat Enterprise Innovation Lab now for close to about a year. And this is really a ecosystem initiative because so nice to see other partners. So obviously Tej, Nandita ji, Mr. Menon, Mr. Prasad from Emerging Tech. Sunil is not here, but his co-founder is here. So she's here. So, and of course, Bharat Angels from Chandigarh, right? Now, so I've been involved with T-Hub now for, first officially for about 3 years, and then of course, now I'm involved in a different capacity. But one of the things which, there lots of times people ask, why is it that startups are not able to raise capital, right? And frequently comparisons are made, for example, with Bangalore, right, where the volume of funding is significantly higher than it is here, etc. So there are several reasons. But I thought one of the things which I've been an entrepreneur twice. One was bootstrapped, one was we raised close to 12 million, exited, etc. So when I reflect on my journey and then I try and look at what startups are doing, there are reasons why people invest in companies, and there are reasons why investors don't invest in companies, right? And sometimes we need to really understand, why is it, let's say you approach a VC, for example, right, or an angel investor, all of them have, let's say typically a VC, for example, without getting into too much detail, a VC, for example, is actually in a sense managing other people's money, right? So he's putting in some of his money, right, as a general partner, and then he's got partners whom we call limited partners or investors in the fund, and he's obviously, so let's say, for example, you put together a $25 million fund, say a 200 crore fund, right, which you put together. And so typically when you are raising that money, you will agree with the investors in the fund on what we call a hurdle rate. Typically I'm expecting that I'll deliver a certain return over a 5-year or a 7-year or a 8-year period, which is normal, right? And this is something which most entrepreneurs don't understand, okay? Because very quickly, so let's say if it's a $200 million fund, and hypothetically for the purpose of simplicity, you say that 200 crore fund, sorry, you say 100 crores will be done for upfront investment and 100 crores will be done for follow-on. And let's say hypothetically you say 5 crores will be invested in each company, 20 companies. Now the law, there's no law as such, but the law of nature typically dictates that out of 20 startups, 2 or 3 will do exceptionally well, 5 or 6 will do middling, and then about 10 will be a complete write-off, right? And so let's take a simple example. So suppose you say in a 10-year fund, suppose you have 100 crores as the fund. If you take a 10-year fund, 100 crores will have to become 310 crores to be able to deliver a 12% return to the investor. Now, this would be easier if I drew it on the board, but but still. Now the chances are, if you take whatever I explained, 20% of the companies will do well, about another 30% of the companies, 5 or 6 companies will do average, and 10 companies will be written off, right? Now, if that doesn't work out, he's not going to be able to invest in you. So that's the first thing which you need to understand. The second thing is, people ask me, what do investors look for, when they come to me? Very simply put, and I'm maybe oversimplifying this, but very simply, I'll call it 5 T's. Okay? Some of you would have heard of 4 P's, right? Product, price, promotion, place. For investment, there are 5 T's which you have to look at. What are the 5 T's? One is the team. Okay? So have you been able to assemble a quality team which brings together a set of people with complementary capabilities. Somebody who understands, for example, finance, somebody who's done operations, somebody who understands how to go out and sell, business development, marketing, etc. So team is the first part. The second is, what is the problem you're solving and what is the TAM, total addressable market. Is the market large enough? Okay, can you become, for example, I'll give you an example. So I'm now advising a fund for part-time. So it's a B2B tech firm. So what I look for is, can this business become, let's say, a 100 crore business in a 4 or 5 year window? Okay, assuming we invest, does the team give you the comfort that they can build a 100 crore business type of thing? Other investors may have, can this become a, let's say, $1 billion business as an example, right? So the first one is team. The second one is total addressable market. The third is in terms of technology. Okay, so today, for example, the flavor of the day is AI. Okay, so anything you do, if there's an AI element to it, it's likely to attract some attention. Okay, not necessarily funding, but at least people will have a conversation, maybe sometimes purely out of curiosity rather than anything else. So what is the tech differentiator which you are building in what you're doing? So that's the third T. Okay, the fourth T, which is the traction. Okay, so too many times I've had founders who come up with great ideas, okay, but haven't done any execution. Okay, meaning they haven't built product, they haven't gone out and sold and got one customer, etc. But expect saying, listen, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, so I must get funded. It doesn't work like that. People want to be able to understand whether you have been able to show some. So you have this idea, like as an example, just the other day, I'll give you an example. I won't take the name of the founder. Somebody came up to me and said, see, all these housing portals are broken. So this Magic Bricks, 99 acres, square yards, brick and board, some half a dozen things are all broken. Terrible customer experience. Half the properties are dated, whatever. Then half the properties, nobody is verified whether the legal, legally, everything is in order, etc. and so on. And they say it is ready to move, whereas it is probably 2 years away from ready to move, etc. I will solve that problem. Okay. Now, my way of thinking about it is, listen, all those companies we talked about, right, housing.com or Magic Bricks or 99 acres, etc., are well capitalized. They've raised a lot of money, okay, and they have to some extent solved the problem. What is it that you're doing which is unique and differentiated, which will beat them? Okay, so just on the idea, and the founder said, I need 5 crores. I said, for what? To build the tech and the team. I said, Pahle kuch to banao na. Take one micro location, say I will solve this problem in let's say in Manikonda, for example, and show me how this works. Then we can talk, right? So that's the fourth point, which is what is the tech which you are building. And last but not least, the last fifth T is about what I call, what is your trench? Okay. So for those of you who remember history, we used to build big forts, Golconda, a lot of forts everywhere. Now, to prevent people from coming in, they used to create a trench, one deep, crevice-like thing where you can pour water. If somebody comes in there, you can also pour boiling oil from top if you want, etc., and prevent them from coming. So, unless you have clarity about these 5 T's, which is team, technology, traction, trenches, right? You will not get funded. Okay. What is defensibility? What is your defensibility? Why can somebody else, suppose, let's take an example. Somebody else, let's say you have this great idea that I want to solve something. And then, okay, the idea, for example, is differentiated to some extent, but is not unique. Okay. I'll give you an example. Today, in India, insurance is penetration is about 4%. So people like us, people who sit in AC rooms, will have some, who are, for example, in salary jobs or whatever, will have insurance, right? But for the vast majority of people, they have no insurance at all. Okay, so they are literally one health emergency away from being destitute. Meaning, let's say there's some, like it happened in pandemic or whatever, something happens, then they have to literally put everything they have on mortgage, sell gold, whatever property, raise money and whatever. So this guy wants to solve this problem. He's built something interesting, but while it is an interesting problem to solve, right? Saying that there are, let's say, 4% of India's population, which is approximately 50 million people, are insured. 1.35 billion people are not insured. So I will solve that problem. Now, it's a problem. Everybody knows it's a problem. Large market, it ticks that box. Problem, it ticks. But what is to prevent a big guy tomorrow who has deep pockets coming in and saying, okay, you've solved this, I will come and now kill you, right? So there has to be something which is differentiated, which is unique to you, which somebody else will find very difficult to do. Okay, so let's take one example. Everyone talks about why India is not able to build LLMs, this large language models, right? So the Anthropic and Chat, OpenAI and Gemini, blah blah, all of that. Now, for someone to build something like that, the kind of compute, the kind of people, blah blah, you need serious capital. Okay, and that's what these big guys are raising, right? So, like I remember somebody came and asked how Sam Altman, and he said this. He was quite dismissive. People, jumped on him, but he said you can't put $10 million and assume that you can build a large language model. It doesn't work, right? So these 5 elements you have to do. Okay, now I'll connect that to what we are trying to do. So now what we are trying to do here is to say that to some extent raising capital is about storytelling. Okay, you have to be able to create a narrative. You have to convince, for example, an investor saying that if he puts in money, there is a reasonable chance of your business getting to some scale and your ability to give a return, right? So very simple. I'll give you one analogy. If you look at the public markets today, for the last few years, public markets have returned on average 15-16% annualized. On average, annualized, right? This last year was this year has not been so great. This year is some 9.4, but we'll see. So if you are asking a VC to invest in your business, the VC's investors, who are the LPs, will say, listen, in the public markets, I'm getting 16-18% without having to do too much struggle. So in your investment, if I'm investing in a VC fund, I would expect to get a much higher rate of return, say 24-25%, right? So it's a high risk, high return kind of game. And if I don't feel confident that what you are building, for example. So let's take an example, right? The common thing, right? I remember people used to say, I know in Hyderabad there were 3 startups which said we will build a better Ola or a better Uber. Okay, 4 guys came up and said we'll build a better Zomato and a better Swiggy. They are ripping off the customer, they are ripping off the hotel, they're ripping off the worker, and on the Ola Uber have never made money. Customer is unhappy. Okay, driver is also unhappy. Okay, but these guys said we'll build, and those guys, Ola and Uber, have burned through close to $2-3 billion of cash to get to where they are. What hope in hell do you have of building a successful business, right? So this is something, and I use this analogy. For founders, a startup is like their baby. How many of you here are parents? For all parents, their kids are the best people in the world, right? There's no kid who's smarter, more beautiful, more charming than their kid. So founders also think of their startup in a similar way. But unfortunately, the world has to say that, not you. The world has to say your kid is smarter than, or more beautiful or more charming than somebody else. So what we are trying to do here is to help you figure out. Okay, and sometimes I think the other thing which is important is certain businesses are not meant to be funded. I'll explain this very quickly. If it is what is called a VC type of business, is essentially we look at it as a high growth, high risk, high return type of business. If it's a lifestyle business, meaning you have a, like you're running it where you make decent money, you are working for yourself, you're not in the, let's say you're not, let's take an example. You say, I want to build a laundry service, as an example, right? And I will set up 10, laundromats in different places. Whatever investment, each laundromat is some 30, 40, 50 lakhs, 5 crores, and every month I can do X, Y, Z. But if you can't demonstrate that you can scale this and make it, let's say, pan-state, pan-India, whatever, nobody is going to put money in you. Because somebody else can do that very, very quickly. Type of thing. So this is something which you have to understand, and what we are trying to do. And I tell many founders, and sometimes I become very unpopular because I tell them upfront on their face, very bluntly, saying, boss, listen, your business is not investable. Don't spend the best part of your life, the next 4 or 5 years, chasing this dream. You just go back, get yourself another job, for example, or start something which has a potential to scale, right? So what we are trying to do here is to provide, first of all, with all our partners, right? So you have 2 very experienced people here from Tej. Then we have Mr. Prasad. Of course, we have Mr. Ballav. And then, of course, from a media branding standpoint, is to bring together something where our cumulative experience, expertise, etc., can be, shared with you and try and tell you what you need to do, right? Of course, the ultimate execution is in your hands. We are not going to be running your business for you, but we can tell you what you need to do, for example. So, for example, sometimes you should know when to reach an investor, meaning if you are too early, sometimes you may not get funded, meaning if you have not demonstrated adequate traction, you have not built the defensibility thing, you may not get funded, for example. Or if my thesis, for example, I'll give you an example, right? My fund, we invest only in B2B. Okay, we don't invest in any of these D2C, etc. So if you come and say, listen, I have built the next best ice cream in the world, for example, we'll say, sorry, thank you, it's not our area of interest. So you need to know, before you reach an investor, what research you have to do before you talk to them. Understand their thesis, find out which of their, what kind of companies are they investing, what is the check size, is there are they willing to take, for example, bets which others may be willing to, they may be more risk oriented, some may be less, more conservative, etc. So all of that is what we'll be able to this thing. And there's a plethora of resources which you will get in terms of learning material, content, etc. Apart from the sessions which, our very experienced partners will work with you. Okay. Thank you.
So I'll be just talking about this program that we are going to start, and the context has been already given by MSR right now about what is fundable, what is not, how do you look at investment and things like that. So it's called PitchAlchemy, and basically it's an 8-week offline intensive program. And one thing about getting invested or raising funds is that it's really an art. It is an art, and this art includes a lot of creative things that you have to get into. And so there are several ingredients that go into making a fundable startup. So we are trying to put all those ingredients into this program such that, every aspect of it which is taken, which is looked at importantly from the investor point of view is covered in this program. Yeah. Everybody knows this, but still it's, some people like us who have actually been guiding and mentoring a lot of startups, we have typically found that a lot of them have wonderful ideas, they have wonderful products, and they have sometimes, even their team is good, but when they actually go in front of an investor, it's bad or poor storytelling and very weak positioning that cannot get them funding. Then it is also the pitch decks they make are unfriendly, and the financial narrative is not what the investor is looking at from an investment ROI point of view. The delivery there's a lack of confidence. Otherwise, if you look at their products and you look at their business, it's really, anybody would be wanting to invest in them, but the communication, the narrative, the story, the financials, the pitch deck, the performance, the confidence levels, everything is poor. And next thing is, even if they get invested or let's say there is a commitment from the investor, like, look, okay, we are interested in your business, post that also there's a lack of discipline in how to take it forward till the really the investment is given. So there is a lack of discipline, then there's documentation, there is due diligence, and then a big problem before comes mapping out the right investor. Every investor doesn't invest in everything. He has his own portfolio. He has his own segment. So mapping out which investor is fit for your kind of business is another important thing that we are going to be training in this program. So what is this alchemy journey about? It's about basically you're crafting your founder and startup narrative and your journey. Your whole journey from where you are to getting invested and funded is a journey, a narrative which has to be crafted. So this program is going to actually craft this narrative for you on an individual basis, of course in a cohort. And then we are going to validate your model, business model, your revenue model, look at it. If there are better ways to go about, MSR just said that sometimes, the model is not investable, it's not fundable, we just say it's not, you can't invest. But alternately, I think you can tell them to change or tweak and move on. So that will be another part of the agenda. You really feel this guy will not get investment, can we help him in pivoting his model, pivoting his revenue model or some way to take it forward to become investable. Okay, so the financial validation is what we will be talking about and looking at for every individual participant, that his financials, his projections, etc. get validated and they are compatible to what the investor is looking at in terms of investment. Then your pitch deck, what you actually put forward in front of the investors to narrate your story is a pitch deck. This also is another creative thing which you have to come out with a clear communication. And there are templates available, but still, what is your story has to be communicated through a proper pitch deck. So that is we call it the deck of destiny. So we build this and we look at it, we validate it, we change it in case it is required. Then there's a delivery. Once your pitch deck is made and you have this tool with you, but that doesn't entitle you, so to get an investment, how you communicate it is going to be important. So the storytelling will come there and how you tell this entire story, which makes it fundable. And then the last, so we have around 7 sessions. The 8th session is going to be the what is called as the demo day. Now, what is the difference between this PitchAlchemy that we are putting together for you is that most of the programs end with a demo day and nothing happens beyond that. So here what is going to happen is your work will start post this. Of course, you have master classes before this and you have labs where you will be working on, but post this comes the real part where you will be curated and your due diligence will be done. You will be put into deal rooms where finally the deal should be closed. So that is the 8th day is the demo day, but post that, the engagement continues for another month or so to see that we take it forward right up to the closure of the investment, wherever they are investable. So the program will have masterclasses and confidence labs. This will be delivered by us at TEZolutions. And then we have ManageMyStartup, who will have the platform. And this is a very dynamic platform which gives you the entire ecosystem in the platform, right from choosing a mentor, a coach for your startup, to looking at sources of investment, to looking at various other ecosystem partners, or everything is available on the platform. So that platform will be a very useful thing for all the people who join this program. You will be on this platform. The platform will give you a lot of AI-based nudges to tell you where your gaps are in your pitch deck, in your performance, in your delivery. Right from first day, MyStartup TV, who's very much here, will also be taking your pitch on the first day and showing you the before and after scene, where you are raw in the beginning, but with the curation in these 2 months. So we take classes only on 1 day a week. So the curation during the 2 months will make you so perfect in confidence levels and the delivery and the storytelling that this will be all mapped out by a media partner as well. So we will have AI-powered platform as a part of the program. We will have deal rooms readiness curated by us. We'll have media spotlight by MyStartup TV. This is going to do your media and PR, which is also an important ingredient of fundraising. So that's also there. We just try to put it all together. And then you have direct investor access from the demo day onwards till the deal closure. And of course, there is certification which is done by University of Emerging Technologies for whomever requires this certification. It's 8 weeks, Saturdays only. Morning 3 hours will be master classes, as well as speakers, eminent speakers coming in master classes and telling you on a certain topic, which all these topics are mapped out, which are the most important for curating your startup story for investment. The format is offline, all interactive. You will be there, you will be working hands-on. And then the goal will be that from a raw pitch, we graduate you to an investor-ready showcased pitch and performance to a curated angel network. So our last partner here is the Bharat Angel Networks, which is going to be looking at your startup, your business, looking at your due diligence, your entire story, and how investable you are. And this whole network who's coming on the demo day and even before is associated with us will look at all your documentation, etc., and then finally take it to a closure level. Yeah, you can apply this now and become also part of Bharat Enterprise Innovation Lab community. So the community itself will give you a lot of other benefits. The cohort will give you a lot of peer learning and learning from experts, and the community will give you a lot of available resources on the platform which you can utilize in your startup journey. So that is about the session. Maybe if you have any questions on this, we'll take it towards the end of the program, because there are other collaborators who will also tell you about their role in the program. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, Nandinji. Please connect for Sahil. Teams is connected. Make more noises.
Some are on YouTube, so yeah.
Hi, Sahil. Good evening, Sahil. Can you hear us? I'll just exit. Wait 1 minute.
He's from Bharat.
Yes. Just mute and speak.
Can you bring the window upstairs? Close the
Yeah.
other window. You can ping him. You can pin him, man. That's good. Yeah, pin him.
Just pull that chair also a little side.
No, you can pin him. He'll be
Put him on stage. So it's called pin.
Yes. Yeah. Sahil, good evening. Can you hear us?
No, your mic is.
Your mic is. Our mic is.
Yeah, Sahil, can you hear us?
Now.
Now can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. Is connect that
All
speaker.
yours.
You connect? It's connected? Here?
Switch off the lights actually.
Piyush, उसको वॉल्यूम थोड़ा इंक्रीज करो. This one.
Yeah, that's good. This is nice. Switch off the lights. All you can switch off. No, only these ones. Yeah, this is good for me.
Yeah.
Yes, Sahil, thank you so much. And I welcome for this PitchAlchemy. Sahil is the founding member for Bharat Angels networks, and they fund large number of startups. And he is going to talk about how the Bharat Angel networks is the part, is going to help us for supporting and raising funds. Sahil, over to you. Please go ahead.
Hello everyone. So this is Sahoo. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Piyush, you connected नहीं है. He's not connected there. क्या हो गया? ये connected नहीं है क्या? Hello?
Connected, not sure why it's not. Start turning.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see how it's going.
Last time clear था ना?
Not meeting, it's not accepting.
Oh, okay. So we'll have to fill the mic.
Just hold the mic. Yes. Hold the mic.
Sahil, can you speak?
Sahil, please go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me now clearly?
Just the speaker in the
Can you hear me?
Speaker.
Yes.
Yeah,
Can
go
hear
ahead.
you.
Yeah.
So good afternoon everyone. I am Sahil Makkar, and I think a brief introduction has already been given about me. So though I am a chartered accountant by profession and also a Indian School of Business alumni, and so we partner with Ballav ji, and yeah. So today's topic given to me generally was startup readiness and common pitch mistakes. Generally, that I have to speak few things on the topic. So is it right, or I have to speak on something else? I think that was the topic given to me for today's session.
Yes, please go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So if we talk about startup readiness, so we always, everyone talks about ideas and all. So but idea, what is important? Idea is important. So if you talk about patents, I think thousands of patents are just stuck in file, and they are all good ideas. So every idea is there. But what is more important is other than idea is the execution. So execution is required. So execution, you need to plan out how that your plan, which idea you have got, it can be executed into the market. So if we talk about execution, you need to understand there are different things which we need to understand. Along with idea, what is, so maybe do we have an interactive session? It's a one session, one-side session, or
however you want.
so I can ask questions also, na? So
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
So if anyone can tell me what, as per Government of India definition, what does a startup mean? So if anyone knows what without seeing in their mobiles now, searching for that.
Do I admit?
Hello.
So, yeah, thank you. To start with, we have a good number of problems which need solutions, but all of them are not scalable, all of them cannot be solved, but few problems that we can solve, and there's a value that we derive out of it. It can be customer satisfaction, then it might be B2B, right? It depends upon what kind of a product or a service that you're going to bring in the market. And it should be, you should be able to expand it, right? And you should also be able to derive some profit out of it, right? The business, in the business model, right? And you should be able to build a team, right? And if it's more scalable, then I think it's basically a startup. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So can anyone tell me difference between a startup and a MSME in that case? What is the difference between a startup and a MSME?
Medium and small.
What you define
Micro, small,
is applicable to everyone.
Micro, small and medium enterprises. MSME.
What is the difference
Yeah,
between that?
MSME, micro, small, and medium.
Yeah, maybe I will try to answer with my knowledge. When we see, say, micro means it might be a small shop which employs maybe 20 people. I'm not very sure, but I think 20 people, 100 people, right? So it's more like a workshop which manufactures certain thing. For example, if you're manufacturing bolts and nuts, right, of different kinds of
So both the definition goes 100 crore. Startup also goes the definition till 100 crore, and MSME also has the definition till 100 crore.
Definitely.
And a small business, small is a startup also, big business. But what's the basic difference between the startup and MSME?
Innovation. The new idea.
Innovation, okay. So MSMEs are also, so ultimately if you see, that's why I asked for a definition. If you see government give a startup registration, not a basic registration, the tax exemption registration. So they see a certain things, your definition should have particular thing, then only they give you the tax exemption and you are eligible for the tax exemption in the startup category. And the one word, the basic difference between is, that is scalable word. So MSME is a business model and startup is a scalable business model. So if you think of any company, any traditional business, where we're talking about, there are good brand names, so spectacles, and there were lots of shops in the market. So every corner has those shops, but then a brand came who made that scalable business model, and it was at the level. So they built in processes, things and all. Innovation was important, but more than innovation, it was execution and making their business model and scalable business model. So that's why you have to see that if you're working on any startup idea, you have to see whether that business model is scalable or not. It shouldn't be a problem of 50, 100 or 200 people. It should be a problem of thousands of lakhs of crores of people. Then only your model can be a good idea to be scalable. No, so that's in any startup, you have to first see if you're getting ready, if you're working on your idea, whether your business is, whether your startup is going to be a scalable business model or not. Otherwise, you are a business model, but then you are a MSME. To understand also, if you're starting a new business and coming us, so there is certain process which you should follow. So what is those processes? First is, so I always say there are certain steps one by one which comes in. The first one is the research. The research means basic research, basic in a sense, who you are, where you want to sell, who is your market, who is your target audience, who is going to buy it, who is going to process it. So first you have to do the research, that where you are and where you are going to be. Once that research has been done, now you know that this is my target audience, this is going to be the pricing, everything has been done. Then what we have to do is, you have to do marketing, creating that visibility. So creating that visibility, if you want to create that visibility to the market, like, so if you have identified that your target audience is a 30 years old, so maybe your now market audience is from 25 to 35 people. If your target audience is senior citizens, then you have a target audience. So marketing specifically to those audience then becomes your point. Once that marketing has been done, the another point comes in sales. So marketing, any leads comes into your office, and now lead coming on means they are now interested in your product, and they want your product now, or maybe they are interested in your product. Now you have to talk to them and understand why they want. If doesn't want to buy, so what are the problem? What are the solutions we can give? Can we modify that product? Maybe someone came to office and you sold that we'll be selling 10 units of it. Then maybe is he coming on board that he may be requiring a certain modified version and he needs 1,000 units of it. Then obviously as a salesperson you can modify that. But you need to, that's why, in early stages, a starter, CEOs are generally the salesperson because they have a power to modify different products and different understandings. Then comes after sales comes is your resources. Once you've committed someone, like maybe if you have committed someone that I'll give you a website, but if you don't have a developer or if you don't have a computer or a software through those things, how you'll be providing that sales to them if you have committed a website. So resources are important, raw material resources or maybe a human resource. So main work of human resource manager is not hiring, firing, but getting the work done from every employee at their full potential. And then comes, I always tell there are two disputes in this world. First is ego. So there is no solution to ego. But the second one is expectations. Investors' expectation from a startup to an investor, employer, and similarly husband, wife, husband. So if their expectations are not met, you will find disputes over it. But that's why it's a legal. So contracts, legals, whatever has to be done, it has to be written. So whatever communications you're doing, get it vetted through a legal or get those things in writing down. Last aspect comes in, that is finance. Finance, what do you mean by finance? Finance is blood for any organization. So if you need 10 crore rupees and you get 5 crore rupees, how to manage that? If you're looking for 10 crore rupees and you get 20 crore rupees, how to manage that? Otherwise ROI won't come. So financial management becomes a very important aspect for any startup scalability. And then there is also thing, so if you are looking for fundraise and you'll get money once you are complete with your research, marketing, sales and legal plan. So finance person says, okay, get me ready for everything, I'll give you money. And the startup says, give me money and get ready each and everything. So there's a chicken egg story always around it. So you need to understand that how balance we have to create. How it doesn't go directly for 100 crore asking for 20 crore without having an idea. Because if you have not validated an idea, you don't have people, it can't happen that someone will come on board and give you 10 crore or 20 crore. First you need to get your idea validated with a small number and then things can happen. Then, so if there is any question, do let me know. I love to have questions in between if someone has questions around it.
No, I don't think we have any questions.
Yeah. So, in the another topic which is generally was pitching. So pitching or maybe some certain common mistakes startups do in pitching. So the first mistake I always find in a pitch deck is people don't put exit option for investors. The pitching is for investor who is coming on your board and investing into it. You ask him, okay, invest 10 crore rupees into my company, but how will you get an exit? Investors are coming only for their returns. There's no emotions attached, nothing attached. They're coming for investment and they're looking for their ROIs, but you need to give them an exit option. In startup, generally profit is not their ROI. Like after sales and cost and all the profit coming into books is not the ROI. Their ROI comes from the valuations of a company. Their ROI comes from profit, but those valuations depend on that profit. But how you're going to, in which round you're going to give them exit? This is not an listed company like anyone can get an exit at any time. So if you can put that exit plan for an investor, that this is going to be your exit strategy, maybe then second round or a third round, I'll give you an exit, that's very much important. Second point is, once you're pitching anyone, you need to be more confident, or maybe so pitch deck can be so maybe if anyone can respond also, that how much pitch deck you should have. Anyone, maybe pitch deck should be of how many pages?
Well, 1 page.
Well, one page is elevator pitch, a brief, but not a pitch deck. So a 12 page is good, but how much pages a master pitch deck should be there?
Well,
A master pitch deck should be there of 30 pages.
30.
Okay, 30 pages. But every time you are sending your pitch deck to anyone, you have to send 12 pages. Because if I am from a finance background you have to definitely send me 3-4 slides of finance background. If you are sending person whom you are sending your pitch deck is from a marketing background, he'll definitely want to see how your marketing plan is going to be. So the background of people, the company whom we are, so what we happens is the pitch deck we are sending to an individual investor incubator, the same pitch deck we are sending to an angel investor, the same pitch deck we are sending to a VC. Now they are coming with a different mindset. They're going for different purposes. So if you don't give them those slides, then it won't happen. So our master pitch deck should be of more pages, maybe 20 pages or 30 pages. And that whenever you're sending to anyone, pick up those 12 slides which you want, understanding the profile of a person, and then sending those 12 pages to that particular person. Another point is like once you're presenting, so storytelling. So you might have heard storytelling is important. But what is storytelling? Like storytelling is always about how telling your vision about it. Why you come into this problem? Why do you think this problem is the biggest problem and it can scale and it can solve problem for multiple of people? So if you have those problem solving skills or maybe storytelling skills, like we can solve this problem of lots of people, then I think this is very much important. You need to be passionate about your vision, like how you're going to help it, what are the things, how things are happening, and how things are observing up. You need to be more passionate about your idea and all. And then coming the most important thing is coming about tractions. So numbers are very much important. People put their idea like I'm going to this. So if I tell you I'll be successful, does it make any sense? If I tell you that okay, I'll reduce my weight, I have to reduce my weight, will it make sense? Or will it make more sense if I say that I have to reduce once?
Can you please repeat that?
Kindly repeat that.
Yeah, so numbers are important, tractions are important in your pitch deck. For example, I was just taking an example. Like if I tell you that I want to be a successful person, will it make sense to anyone? If I tell you that what is successful for someone is different and for someone is different. If I tell you, maybe another example, if I tell you I want to lose weight, will it make sense? No. Or if I tell you if I want to be fitter, will it make sense? But if I say I want to reduce 10 kgs in 3 months, then will it make sense? So numbers are very much important. How your numbers are coming, how many number of customers. So valuations are more important in a startup, but valuations are dependent on not on bottom line but a top line. Number of customers. Sometimes you'll see you have to capture the market at a free, at a zero revenue. You are selling. You want to capture market. You want customers on board, and you want customers on board without any revenue. That's okay. But what is the growth rate of customers on board? Because if 100 customers validate your idea, then 1,000 customers validates your idea, then crores of customers validate your idea, then yes. Swiggy, Zomato are till date not charging any membership fees, and they started with the same. So, but first important thing was to getting customers on board, users on board. So if you get users on board, then that becomes a very much important. Your sheet, so one sheet should always show how you're getting customers on board. How you will increase users in your company and your customers on your company. Maybe not charging 0 rupees to them, maybe charging 1,000 rupees to them, or maybe charging 10 rupees per month to them, whatever plan can be. But what is important is that how you are going to increase your customers. And I'll tell you, so if I get 100 pitch now, more than 70% of pitch, I find startups putting wrong numbers, but any number which they can't justify. So there is a past and future. So future, okay, you can have those imaginary numbers, probability numbers, because nobody can predict future, that I'll going by that. But what about past numbers? Past is actual thing. So startups comes and pitch and they show XYZ. So I remember one startup who came to me. He said he has more than 3 lakh active users, and his customer acquisition cost is 3 rupees only. But then all investors saying, okay, if this is the number, and I'll definitely put money into it, whatever money they want. But once we did an actual due diligence, there were around 26,000 customers. Actual user was 26,000 users. No? But the point was the investor was still ready to put in 20, because 26,000 active users is also not a small number. It is a very big number. It's not a small number. But you are saying that I have got 3 lakh and getting 26,000 is totally you lose trust by investor. You're saying you are telling lies right now, maybe what will happen in future. So 26,000 was also a very good number. It was already funded company by multiple companies, multiple fund houses, but we don't know how the due diligence had happened at that companies. But what is important is the numbers you are speaking at a presentation of your past should be accurate. It shouldn't be machinery. Your ask should be specific. Sometimes what happens is somebody comes to me and says, okay, give us 5 to 10 crore rupees. So I directly say no to them. Why? Because they don't know how to use that money. They don't know whether they need 5 crore or they need 10 crore. You need to be specific with your ask that I need 7.2 crores and with 7.2 crores I'll do those things. You need to be specific with your ask. If you don't know how to use that money, you'll lose it. And you also have to justify. That's why I'm also saying right now that there are more than entrepreneurs, there are more than grantpreneurs. So startups are coming and just taking grants from incubators and all, getting the 20 lakh, 50 lakh rupees and not getting funding because they're not able to use that 20 lakh. They use in their own way. But an investor who comes in, he sees that how you have used the 20 lakh or 50 lakh rupees. So if you have usually used 20 lakh and 50 lakh rupees, then only he'll invest in you. If you have not, he says that, okay, you have raised 50 lakh rupees and what you have done. If you've done nothing out of 50 lakh, then maybe if he gives 5 crore, you'll do nothing out of it. So you have to understand, like you have to get your business, a business model, a scalable business model. And for that, you need to focus on your idea and your numbers. Scalable business model means you should have active customers and whatever cost it may be. And generally people do marketing for that purpose, only getting customers, but they should stay also. So generally many companies comes in and says, okay, we have invested 10 lakh rupees and got 10 lakh rupees of sales. So investing 10 lakh rupees or 10 lakh sales is okay for a first month, if I say so. But then next month it should be 7 lakh and 10 lakh sale. The third month should be 5 lakh rupees of investment marketing and 10 lakh of sale. And fourth month should be 3 lakh of marketing and 10 lakh of sale. It shouldn't happen every month. Because many platforms like Amazon's or many other platforms, people put money on their investments and to get their sales done. But then there is no use if you are getting the same number. That means customer is not coming for your product. Customer is only coming once and see your ad, and that's a random customer. This is not a repeat customer. So if I come and sell you one thing and you didn't like that product, and second time I come and give you it a free of cost, will you take it from me? No, because you don't want to keep wastage in your home if you don't want to use it. But if it's for use, you will pay also and you will use that product also. So there are many other points which you have to keep in mind while you're presenting your idea, keeping in mind who the investor side is, what is the background, what they want to, what is your moat. Now that is very much important. So so if you have a different idea, maybe sometime companies comes in like, I have a different idea. How difficult it is for somebody else to copy it. So if your idea is so good, obviously once there are customers, thousands of customers, somebody other will see, okay, this is working well. And if they have money, so they'll say, okay, this is working well, let's create a new company and build it and create that market. So do you have any uniqueness, like nobody else can copy your idea? If you have that uniqueness, that need to be presented, that why to invest in your company, because that gives a point. For example, there are certain medicines in market, nobody else has made it, they have a patent for it. So in that case, okay, they know now for 10-20 years, nobody can copy my idea, nobody can change it, and markets will develop. So you need to see that what moat or what is the different thing you have. Who all are your competitors? That also is important, because competitors, once they know somebody comes in, okay, they are doing this thing, I'll just come with a one unique thing into their idea. But then if your competitor who is the biggest one competitor and they know that this is a unique thing, they'll also implement it. They already have a money, they already have a customer, they already have plenty of things. Then why won't they shift it to the new thing? Am I clear? So any questions maybe till now? Any questions from anyone? I would love to answer more of a question rather than speaking myself. Any doubt you have in your mind till date? I don't understand how this would happen, or this is happen, or this is my problem. I try to scale, but these are my certain problems. If you have any queries, then do ask me. Maybe I can give my.
Yeah, I have a question to you. So,
Yeah.
I think we were speaking about Swiggy and Zomato, for example, and some other similar organizations trying to copy the idea and maybe build a, like, for example, in case Uber, Ola, and Rapido, for example. So 3 of them are running. So we start a business idea, right? And you're also talking about how difficult or easy is it to duplicate this idea, right? So sometimes it just happens that it can be copied, right? And I mean, what I strongly believe is, and I think in specific places like the one that you mentioned, right? Like we have patents for specific products which can't be copied out. But in service industry, for example, if it can be copied, so do you think the valuation will decrease and it will be a problem for investors? So how is it identified? How do investors identify it?
Yeah, so definitely, so sometimes that's why I say copying a text gets difficult. Because tech has to be, I think, what I can understand, it has to be written by a developer, and they take lots of time, years, days, and months and all to make a software, and then it gets built. So it gets very difficult for someone to make a similar software. And if you have, in the meantime, if you develop that software and you got money and you got visibility and you got customers, so so you might have heard a company called Tele, which is accounting software. So there are competitor, many competitors who have built in their market who is getting more value than Tele, but Tele is still leading it. Why? Because it comes at the first, and if any other software comes with a modification, they'll get it modified. But what they did was, in early stages, they just sold it at a peanut prices. They just want to cap that every shop, every person who is using accounting should use Tele. And now people are used to of Tele. Now they don't want, and because shifting is very difficult. So if you already have an active, so if you are going to one particular shop as a Kirana store also, there might be 10 shops in the market, but every time you will be going to that shop only. If that is closed, then you may try another, or if that store is not providing facilities, then you may shift to another. But until unless that store is providing you facilities, you won't shift it. So that's a early market capturing is important. So that market, if you're capturing market and giving the facilities, the qualities what they're looking for, then they won't shift to you. Yes, but some other might come and capture market, but holding. So like I believe out of Swiggy, Zomato, who came first or second, I don't remember. But one of them was into some other domain, not delivery of food. Was in some other maybe.
Yeah, Zomato was not into.
Zomato and all. So, but they saw like Swiggy was doing this, and they already have a customer. So they thought like let's create the same thing. So if you're building something and you already have a customer on board, and which is a target audience can come on, so office you can pivot at any point of time.
Hi, I have a question related to skincare industry. The whole concept of how easy is it to replicate, or what is your trench in terms of how unique or easy or difficult for others to replicate. If you look at the skincare market startups, all of them go to a third-party manufacturer. There are hardly any of the skincare companies that do their own manufacturing. And if you actually look at their formulations, there is not much variation from A to Z. I mean, not much, except for how they package it, how they brand it, and what is the messaging that one gives out to the consumer. One is ingredient based, one is like, whatever risk target. Sorry, I think there's some. No worries. So, So the whole concept, especially in the skincare industry, of being able to copy, or that being a core criteria, saying, hey, you know what, how is it you're different? Anybody can copy anything, right? How does it sort of translate into this context?
No, so that's why I'm saying copy people. So if you're working anything, it's working out. Then obviously people will come on board and copy you. But what is important is, in that case, in certain cases, we were talking about third party manufacturing, the contracts to be signed, a legal contract party has to be done. Coming to, if anybody XYZ may come on and bring your products. So that's why it is important that if you capture your market so fast, that customers won't shift it, then they won't shift it. If you're liking certain cream or maybe a toothpaste, if maybe 10 toothpastes have come in the market, you're still using the same toothpaste. So creams and so marketing strategies, maybe somebody has come as I remember somebody is coming up with I always ask these companies, what is the uniqueness of neem? Like I'm coming with all my products as a neem product. So if somebody might be fond of neem, then, and so I generally say, I'll tell you, I don't consider much of these product companies as a startup because of the scalability consideration. These are very good business models. These are scalable business models. In that case, it can be a startup. And when I say there are more than 10 competitors, then you are not a startup. So in case of products and all, there are obviously plenty of market, huge market, but customers are also high, and there are certain platforms and people just want to. So I remember one of the persons who is importing certain products from China and doing crores of sale in India. And what he do is, so he said that he is bringing those headphones and everything. So he says that there are only 1 to 5% of people who go for those top brands. 95% people doesn't know which brand they want to use. They're just seeing cost and seeing what is the price of that cost. What is the price of in selling market is 500 rupees and he's just selling at 300 rupees. People will buy your product because they just want to use that headphone or any electronics in sale. Any electronics. Every year what he do is getting different electronics made in his any XYZ name and getting it into the markets and all, then change it. Because he's getting the Chinese product, it may happen that certain products won't work and brand may hamper. So every year he's getting new brand name and getting into market and putting that product. So that's why understanding market and customers, and in these product cases and creams and this is happening. That's why certain startup grows well, but 90% doesn't grow well because marketing is a huge, and the people say, okay, this is the same. Either I'm going for a brand, and if I'm not going for a brand, I'm trying every time a new product, a new cream and new things and all. But after I use it once, I see another product and I buy that product. Only 5 to 10% remain, and if you can focus on those 5 to 10 repeat customers, then things can work out. Then you are making something new.
Okay, thank you.
Questions? Yeah, he has a question.
Yeah.
Hi. So we run this company called VillaFest, where basically it's a marketplace platform. We have a biggest problem now. So as you know, like every marketplace platform have this chicken and egg problem, but we also have more problem. Like see, we don't have supply, so obviously, so we don't have demand. So we don't have demand. Supply side people do.
Can you come in front? I'm not able to hear it properly. Can you come?
I think like
Maybe.
Am I audible? Am I audible? I'm here.
Are you audible?
Hello. Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. So we run this company called VillaFest, where basically it's a marketplace platform. We have a typical, chicken and egg problem.
What is the platform
So it's a marketplace platform where you book luxury villas for any kind of celebration. So we wanted to create a category in this Indian hospitality segment. Celebrations platform where any kind of celebration you wanted to celebrate, you can book using VillaFest. It may be villas, farmhouses, mini birthday functions, corporate events. You think of any kind of celebration that you celebrate in your lifetime, we have spaces for you. So that's the idea, then that's what we were building. But the typical problem is we don't have supply since we don't have demand. We don't have demand since we don't have supply. We will just have little supply. The thing is, we are reaching out to the investors, and the question is, so since you don't have the supply and demand, like this is not the fundamental model right at this moment, since you don't have good numbers with you. So how do I?
No, so that's why I said, no, you need to have a scalable business model. If you think, so that's the most important, that whether your business, maybe you need to modify because you are coming like many of the things are available. I don't know much of it, but there are certain things which are already available at different platforms. So if you are selling villas or you are just providing booking for villas and many things, so you're limiting your target audience to only rich class people.
No, actually, so see, I mentioned villas and farmhouses in first step because we have started with villas and farmhouses, but our concept is not about villas and startups, it's about the celebrations. So think of any celebrations, from birthdays to the big marriages. So you know, so there are a lot of
your company, are you promoting your company? What is the problem you're trying to solve?
See, we wanted to create this category called celebrations rentals. Right, so where we are not a travel platform that, like as you mentioned, MMT or OYOs or Airbnbs. All these platforms are built for travelers who wanted to travel from one city to the other city. So they were helping in the hospitality, but we are not focusing on the travelers.
At a premium or at a low cost? What is the ticket size?
Yeah, the ticket size starts from 2,000 to the 50,000 rupees, depending on the which property you wanted to book and depending on the which place you wanted to go. So we have mini theaters which of per hour.
Maybe I would say due to positive time, I need to understand your problem more before commenting anything. So maybe Ballav, you can fix up a one-to-one meeting with him and I'll understand and then.
What is the gap you're trying to bridge?
See, we wanted to create the celebrations rental category.
What is the gap?
See, the gap is, so if at all you wanted to celebrate any kind of celebration, let's say my birthday is coming next week. I wanted to celebrate my birthday with my close people. I have 10 people, I have 2 hours of time, I have 5,000 rupees. Where do I celebrate? If I go to restaurant, there are a lot of people who are ready to disturb me. I want my private space. Yes.
How do you know that?
See, because if at all you look in terms of the celebrations that...
No, I don't want your assumption.
No, not...
Have you validated?
Yes, I am validated. We have so as I mentioned, so we have very...
You mentioned that there is a problem in supply. And then you said there is a problem in demand.
So we have 20 properties.
You have properties, so there's no problem in supply.
No, so because the supply is very limited, so we have just 20 properties. With these properties, we are reaching investors, but the investors...
No, customers are taking your properties.
Yes, customers are taking our properties. So
They are
we've...
taking your property.
Yes.
So you're getting a good revenue.
We are getting revenue, yeah.
So that is what you have to showcase. Then what's the problem?
Yeah.
You started off on a wrong note.
Yeah, you said
Okay.
supply.
Supply is a problem, demand
Demand
is a problem.
Matter closed.
No, we have supply. We have...
You have supply. This is the
Okay.
problem.
Got it.
Yeah, we'll address it.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll connect you tomorrow, like anytime you have time.
When you initiated the dialogue,
You said supply.
it's very confusing.
Okay.
So he's an investor. He'll on this spot he'll reject because you are not clear.
Got it.
Okay, hope you are clear.
Yeah, I
What
got
Shah
it.
was asking.
Yeah.
There's a supply problem, there's a demand problem. There's no business, right?
So that's what we are doing. This.
Go ahead.
So that was the issue.
Yes.
Yeah, you wanted a
Who
question.
wanted to? Sorry.
Hi, again going back to the skincare startup. So, is the recommendation that their skincare startup at this point of time is not advisable because obviously there are more than 10 plus. There have been 10 plus skincare brands before, and then hundreds coming out.
Is clear. I'm not able to get your voice clear. I can hear you, but your voice is not clear.
I think it was. It's visible there. Hello, is this better?
Yeah, now it's better little.
So my question was again in the context of skincare. Is your suggestion that startup in skincare industry is not recommendable? Because I think one of the pointers that you gave was anywhere where there are more than 10 competitors, it doesn't make sense.
Oh, so it can be a good business model. I'm not saying, so you need to be clarified whether you want to be like 1,000 crore, 10,000 crore company, or you want to have a profitable company and having a good life out of it. So that's a different thing. So every cosmetic company, any company can be 100 crore, 200 crore company, and they can be different thing. But whether you want to be a startup, making your company a unicorn company, so that's I'm saying becomes very difficult for those companies. Nothing is impossible. Never say nothing can happen. Everything can happen, but with the higher competitiveness, things get difficult.
No, completely understand. But just out of curiosity, how many people would say, no, I don't want to be a unicorn company?
No, I don't.
How many startups, when asked, do you want to be a unicorn, they say, no, I'm happy with 100 crores. I'm just...
So that's what I'm saying now. So they need to be clarified. So I always tell whosoever comes to my office that what is your vision. So I'll tell you, if your company's valuation becomes 100 crore and you own 60% of it, and you sell your company to somebody else and you get 60 crore rupees, so that is also a good thing. So that's also a good thing. You should be clear. One should be clear that what I have to do. So if they are clear what I have to do, then I think everything is good. If they have a good market, so there is a brand from Chandigarh over here, Kesh Kanti brand.
Yeah.
So they just supply to few stores and that one hair oil. But on those stores or in that market in completely only Punjab, Haryana, Dabur was not able to sell there even a single unit. And those only limited stores. So Dabur came and bought that company for 1,600 crore.
Yeah,
So
I heard of
1,600
that.
crore.
Yeah.
So 1,600 crore. So it was good for him. He sold his one brand and opened another brand. Now then he launched Dr. Ortho also. So he had now multiple brands, Dr. Ortho, Pet Safa and all, many other brands. But those are successful 3-4. But he launched actually after that 20 brands. Which out of those 16 doesn't go well, but 4 are still going well. But then with having 1,600 crores in hand, you were able to implement many other products and all.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sahil, we have and another speaker is there, so we have to, maybe your closing statement. That's all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sahil. Thank you.
You can stay. Maybe if you have time, we can stay.
Yeah, you want to stay? Yeah. Just
Jenny,
one second.
Everybody's talking about the startup ideas.
Yeah, please go ahead.
The company which I opened is called, the company's name is Vatika Organica. So what we're trying to do, so we are trying to create green spaces for our customers, right? It's basically like most of the customers are from the metro side of things, for example, Hyderabad. So you have an apartment, you have a balcony space, but you can't maintain your plants, right? So we provide the expertise of a gardener, then we also provide new plants. We do balcony makeovers, right? So we do that in apartments, villas, commercials, and we also do organic farming, we do microgreens to customers. So this is our company that I'm building, and we have served more than 200 customers so far in the current state of things. And in the future, I think we want to build it in such a way that it's more like an Uberization where the customer meets the gardener on an app. Right? There will be certified gardeners who will come and service the customers who are in need. So this is a future state of model. So just want to ask your thought about it. How do you think that does this look, this business model look, and how do you think this would become a unicorn? Because I plan to implement it over pan India.
Yeah. So any company. So if you understand Hindi, everyone over here.
Yes, please. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So I have a saying which say कि काम करो मिट्टी का काम करो सोने का काम करना आना चाहिए. है ना? It's as simple as that. क्योंकि why I'm saying कि मिट्टी is very, मतलब मिट्टी की कोई वैल्यू नहीं होती, थोड़ी सी होती है, पर people make crores of rupees out of that also, है ना? And सोना चाहे उसकी बहुत वैल्यू होने की, लेकिन people make crores out of that also. If you have a passion and if you have an execution, so when I say passion, actually I always say idea with a passion becomes execution.
Great, thank you.
So any idea is workable. I never say any idea which comes to me that it won't work. I always tell every startup that okay, this will work. You need to be just consistent and persistent. If you are able to be consistent, persistent for years, or 3 years, 5 years, maybe 10 years down the line, you will become more successful. Because if it's working out, if you're still into it, then things will work out.
Great, that answers my question. Yeah, thanks.
Vertical gardens and all? You do?
So thank you so much for inviting me, Ballavji, and it was a very wonderful discussion, and thanks once again.
Thank you, Sahil.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Sahil. God bless you. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Yeah. You can sit. So, hope you have a very interesting session. So, Sahil, he owns Punjab Angel Network. I personally met all the investors, crazy people. If you have a very good idea, less than 1 million, you are ready to invest. Like whatever if you have a good revenue model or customers, even with some already, you are already established. So that's what Sahil and me personally discussed. We thought, okay, we have some good startups out there where we want to support them. And now I request Venkat Rao Garu to speak. He is advisor in Startup Exit Ventures to address. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Ballavji. Hi, hello. I am Venkat Rao. I represent Startup Exit and associated with ManageMyStartup. Okay. Quite good conversation. I think energetic conversation. I just next few minutes I will set the context because most of it I think pretty much covered in the AI context how AI can be. How many of you are using in your daily life AI? Users. That's what. In the context of, because you have seen ManageMyStartup has, PitchAlchemy has the AI component. And also Nandita Madam Ji has given the cohort also. So have you ever tried for the pitch deck preparation? Yes. So how is the outcome? Good? Okay. So have you tried to analyze, use your target VC, where it has to go? Did you try? No. Okay. See, AI tools are there. We all use. There are two phases of it. Yeah. One, you ask, it will give certain things. But have you ever tried, as you give a deck, what to be improved, modified? For example, many students nowadays, as an interviewer, they are using AI much more effectively than learning it. Because I personally used in many of this one, you prepare something, the first level of whether you have prepared it well or not, AI can answer it much better than what it creates. Because it is the role play. Because we have heard MSR Garu was telling 5 T's, is it not? Every T has 5 to 6 attributes. So that makes 25 to 40 attributes for the score as a startup. Because Sohal as an experienced person, anything you are asking, he is immediately able to tell which works, it doesn't work. Suppose any idea of yours, if it has to be, AI can give with a trained. That's what ManageMyStartup is having, AI scorecard. Because your pitch, your team, who are the team, what kind of background, what is the idea, what is the technology, all the 5 T's kind of thing. There is a framework which can give you where you are scoring low, how to improve it. So it is a repetitive process to make it sure the scorecard reaches 80% and above. That is one aspect of it. Because the pitch decks, how many of you have pitched for already VCs? Have you been pitched or you're trying to get into the phase of fundable? How many of you? Have you pitched? Okay. So this, whatever Manage My platform can give you, actually the what to be improved, the storytelling. In the conversation, we have already gone through it, what to improve, how to improve it, all those things. AI can, I think you will go through in the cohort. Is it not, Ballavji? Yes. They will go through it. The final thing, the most key important, the way MSR Garu mentioned, like you have specific in the hospitality segment. How to find a VC who is interested to invest in the hospitality is key, is it not? In the entire universe, your subject matter expertise, VC also should have it, is it not? Most of the time, we will lose time in identifying the proper VC for our fundable startup. For example, yours is also a unique idea. Definitely it can scale. But for example, Startup Exit, we are in deep tech. So just for a clarification, there are 10,000 pitches have been made to fund only 50. Some are in space tech, some are on embedded systems, some are on edtech. So everybody has a portfolio to invest. So this platform, Manage My Startup platform, can actually really suggest, recommend the possible ways of VC who may like your idea. Because they come with a not only funding but strategic inputs, because the kind of advisors they may be having, they can suggest appropriate business model. When Urban Clap can fix the model, yours also can be. Is it not? So, similarly for you also, what I am saying, listening, it could be you are already serving 20, you have customers, but every business will go through the spiral, because every spiral, to move into the next spiral, you need to change certain parameters. Those advisors, not only with funding, but those advisors can come handy if VC is having that domain expertise. Okay. Otherwise, what will happen? You go to a wrong funding only tech companies. If you mention, they may say something, you may get disturbed. We all need energy to moving into the next orbit. So that only comes from when we interact with the relevant. I think you will go through all these things. One is the team of Nandita ji and all, Tej team, along with Manage My Startup, is a well composed. This cohort will give you the path, not only with practical experience, but also platform that bringing intelligence to twin both of the things in the cohort to make you much more or winnable or fundable stage. That is the intent. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Wish you all good luck. Definitely. Okay, thanks.
I'll add a few things. See, we have done lots of research. When startups, in the name of startups, I don't call them as startups. They are all enterprises, small enterprises. What, like in the name of investment. In the name of investment, if you look at, you have a very good idea. I don't know how many ventures you have applied. Do you have any numbers for getting investment?
No, I haven't.
Anywhere you applied your deck? About you? Sir, about you? For getting funding? They must be asking, okay, upload your deck, complete your profile. Have you applied for any funding, anything? Online, have you applied? You have applied online? You applied online funding request? How many? 3, 4. Average, we have seen around 30 to 40 every year for the seeking funding. They apply this hackathon, this competition, that competition. So 12 to 15% of the founder's time is getting wasted. You are curious. Okay, I may get funding. Hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you. And what is happening, simply they are gathering your ideas, decks, and you are getting a rejection, and they charge 2,000 rupees. This is a universal fact. To avoid that, what we have done, we are solving hundreds of problems. We thought, okay, let startups, they create their profile. If any investor is interested, very detailed AI-driven, well-structured profile we have created, let them validate, see what exactly the startup is doing, what problem they are solving, and if they are interested, AI will identify, they can download or copy. So when you have an idea, once that idea is published, it's very difficult somebody else to copy in the internet. Many people, they don't know. When you write C, you publish anything on internet, anything, you don't need to go for again apply for your IPs XYZ. As for copyright act, I can't copy any of your content, any of your idea and put somewhere else. Many people, they don't know about that. So what we have done, when this startup is there, you'll have complete your profile, your product, technology, team, leadership, your all the prototype, everything is, and nobody can access. Even we ourselves can't access. So somebody wanted to copy that, you will really identify. That's what was the competitive laws are available in Europe or US and India also. So that's what we thought will support these startups and with a proper profile and structure. Thank you so much, sir, giving a good insight. Sir, for over to Menon sir and Sandeep sir, how the mentoring and we can help them and create a booster for these startups. Over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you, Ballabji. I won't take much of your time and probably hand over this to Sandeep. But I'm taking a cue. I'm from the corporate world, and I have addressed all these issues from in a corporate environment, where, as you all know, resources are generally not such a problem. But the problems are the same. Taking a cue from what MSRG said, the 5 T's. You know, the problem is that everybody knows what those T's are. The big challenge there is that none of those T's are addressable that easily. In a corporate world also, and I have done so many product launches, handled quite a few businesses, and my success rate has been only 50%. In spite of managing all the 5 T's. That is because this is, and particularly this is true globally, but it is immensely truer in India. Because India is a complicated marketplace, highly fragmented. Customer behavior is unfathomable. Any amount of research you do, it will still surprise you. We do test market launches. We do a whole lot of things that are crores of rupees are spent before you launch a product. But still you fail. Now imagine what the problem is with the startup. He doesn't have those resources. Then the second issue is that if you have to solve any of those T's, you need a lot of information. You want to know about traction, you want to know the market size, all these big fancy words of addressable market. I have not in my life been able to answer that question, in spite of spending crores of rupees with the best of research agencies, because market is fragmented. The sample sizes that you test and try, yes, answers some questions, but when you go to the market, it tells you something else. So what is this platform all about? It bridges the gap of information. It helps you harness whatever little resources are there through a whole lot of mentors that are available on the platform, subject matter experts. It helps you, handholds you step by step towards solving this problem, because a startup finds it formidably difficult to manage this. So this platform has everything. The entire ecosystem is available in this. And in the PitchAlchemy context, it is taking the funding aspect separately. Everything else is there. I think Ballavji would come out with programs other than funding. Because as I said, every one of these T's will have to be addressed. The startup has to be assisted in addressing all these T's. But that will come later. But this is funding aspect only. And in the funding aspects, all these problems, the investor will ask you, what is the market size? What is your traction? How do you solve the trench problem? What is the competitive intensity? Who's going to give you that information? You don't have money to find out that in the market. Filling up a form and asking 50 customers to fill up which oil that you buy is not going to tell you the answer. But there is where AI comes in. So it will do a much better job than you struggling with a whole lot of people around for years and trying to answer these questions, which no investor will find satisfactory. So this is going to solve your problem considerably better than you doing it yourself. So that is, I think, is probably the next stage in helping startups manage their businesses. So that's, I think, is going to be the difference, and the program will see that you have answered some of this. We can't promise you the earth, but it will address a lot of problems. It will take you to that stage where the investors that are coming, including Bharat Angels and others, would find your story successful. I mean, potentially successful. And that is what PitchAlchemy is all about. Yeah, so that's it.
Hi everybody, I don't think I require a mic for that matter. I'm audible? Yeah, thank you. So I'll just take the context of what we are trying to do in this program, right? And then I'll talk about mentorship a little bit, right? And then what we... You need the mic, okay. It's a handicap for me, okay. Is it audible? Okay, fine. Thank you. So the program on an 8-week basis, 7 weeks, as I said, we have subject matter experts in the first half of the day, right? Then in the second half of the day, which is very unique and specific to the program, is we are having labs, right? Where possibly assuming, let's take that you are doing a financial model, you will be sitting with 2 experts who will be helping you doing your own financial model. Where you get stuck up, during that point of time, they will be there to help you, guide you during that. So the entire day, let's say first half of the day 10 to 1, then from 2 to 5, you are having a combination of, okay, subject matter expert during the day. Then in the second half, you will possibly having the lab. And the unique thing which I will just talk about is the mentorship part of it. Now I'll talk about my experience as a mentor. Just to give you a context, I have been a mentor and I'm still a mentor at IIM Calcutta Innovation Park. I'm a mentor at IIIT Hyderabad and a couple of other places as well. Now mentorship, where we have typically seen, you know, it's like a hands-off attitude. I'll tell this way. There is no contextual setting to it. There is no parameters attached to it. So here, what is happening is the mentors themselves, as part of this platform, this is one of the unique things about it. The mentors, you are able to choose specific to what you need. So you need a mentor only for your GTM for 1 week, fair enough, or 1 sitting. Second week, you possibly need a mentor only related to discussing about a legal and compliance related case. Third week, you need somebody for your financial modeling, right? So you can choose your mentor accordingly, and you can even, as he gives you a rating, you are able to rate him or her. And you can choose that, and you can do that entirely on the. So there is a feedback mechanism both ways, right? That is the difference which we have created, and that is what actually got us so much interested as being part and collaborating for this program, right? Mentorship, as I said, it is for me. What is it? I finish my work here, go back home, 7 to 9, I sit down and do it with, let's say, a lot of others. There's no. Let's say maybe after just 2 months, if you ask me, maybe I'll not know his name also, right? But that is here is a different context altogether, because the mentor itself becomes a stakeholder as part of this program. That's the difference which we are trying to create as part of this thing. So one of the things which I will say, the program is a combination of a lot of other things as well. Now, when we have talked about being investor ready, what happens typically, an investor would ask you, right, why don't you send me your shareholder agreements, right? Why don't you send me your SHA, SSA, your compliance documents and stuff like that? Typically, what will happen? I'll get back to you, sir, right? Because those things possibly may not have been done altogether. You will reach out to them after 25 days. By that time, the interest of the investor is already out of the window. So please understand, during this entire 2.5 months to be precise, we will be working alongside you as part of extension of this program to see your deal room is also prepared such that you do not find any last moment hiccups when you are in discussion with your investor. So these are value additions which are entirely being driven by the platform system, right? But we are going to, as a curation is happening at the back end, along with the work which you. So it's a very intensive, hands-on attitude program which we are having. Okay? So I hope I set the context of what we are trying to do as a part of the program itself, right? And I'm open to questions, anything, and as if you want to ask about PitchAlchemy or anything over and above that, feel free to ask before I conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions? Happy to answer. I think some of the questions were there which possibly Sahil could not understand, but happy to answer. Please. You got it? Yeah. Fine. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll just, all of us know that here My Startup TV is there. Hope you are aware of that. Any of you know who are they?
They're well known in the startup ecosystem. They cover all the startups and their
Yes.
what they do and
Yes.
stories and other.
Yes. So, the My Startup TV started by Major Sunil Sethi, and he found startups, there's a big identity crisis. So he's not there on behalf of him. I'm just, we are all partners and collaborators. So out of his 4-5 years experience, initially before starting My Startup TV, he has interacted more than, before that, what is that company, Nanditaji? Pardon me? Ask Mentor. So he was running a large organization called Ask Mentor. And he found there is a big identity crisis among the startup founders. Big identity crisis. You will say, okay, I'm a startup. Like in India, if you look at maybe more than so many 175, now 175 startups are there, more than that. If you look at MSME, or it's more than 25 million. So nobody cares for the startup. So there is a big identity crisis. Though you have a good vision, mission, or you have a very good idea, like he is having a wonderful idea, Mr. Jain. So how that identity can be promoted, can build a wonderful brand. Identity as a service, how it can build in the media. We can't spend lakhs of rupees or crores of rupees promoting our product or services in the digital. You know how you have to hire somebody if you are promoting in the, Instagram or YouTube or wherever maybe trying to reach out. But here, MyStartup TV, they create a good story and promote your startup to reach out large number of audiences. Around 53 countries, the recent OTT platform, what they have built, 53 countries. That's what we want to support, not only through this platform, to building your real identity, how we can scale. See, everybody wanted to scale, but how? How we can reach out? How we'll reach out to large number of users or who like your idea, who love your product or services. So MyStartup TV is going to build your brand through MyStartup TV channel. There is a OTT platform is there, and you are going to promote along with all the support, mentor, finance, investment. See, when we are getting an investor to fund you, we rest assured your product or services is getting reached to large number of user base. So that is one part of our thought process. When we meet all the collaborators, partners we met, we thought, why don't you promote also bringing MyStartup TV? See, MyStartup TV is going to play a very vibrant role, not only in the startup ecosystem, also in MSME ecosystem, to promote services or products by the small or medium enterprises. We don't call them, even if I don't like somebody addressing himself, I'm a startup. Please rest assured, when you are going back today, you think you are having an enterprise. Does not matter. Never use small or large. Maybe you can read a book, The Power of Communication Intelligence. I was trained by Charles Jacob in MIT. The Power of Communication Intelligence. If you use, you are a small or medium, don't, okay, I'm an enterprise. I make today, I have to grow like a child when he's taking bath. He grows slowly. We all know. So that is what MyStartup TV is going to build your brand to take you to different level. If you have any questions regarding how the branding, media, all support can be done, that also we can address once you join this program. And definitely we can help you out. Nandita ji, you want to add few words about MyStartup TV because Major Saab is not there.
Yeah, actually I already said that, but see, what you call as a funding, let's call it as a funding dish, okay? It has to have all these ingredients. So there is a PR content, there is a, like I said, before and after, so we map it out, we find the gaps. MyStartup TV will help us from day one to see what your pitch looks like, what are the gaps in your communication, and we fill up those gaps in our 8 weeks. By the end, it should be a perfect pitch, right? But it's not about only pitching, it's also about giving you visibility in the ecosystem and in the investor network and in the general thing. So this is going to be, MyStartup TV will put up your pitches and will put up, it's like, you know, have you seen those events that happen on television, chef and all that, what is that called?
Master Chef. So you have to bring that concept.
So all that went through, as you're going through this cohort, your putting your lab activity, everything will keep getting into
what is that?
Clips and clips and reels and things like that, which will give you a lot of visibility. So by the end of it, you become like, you know, known in the ecosystem. That is also part of the whole game, which is required. So I would say this is important ingredient. So PR activity on OTT platforms, where you push through all the activities that are happening in this 8 weeks, will become like a MasterChef kind of thing out there, or a Shark Tank. And that also shows that not just that pitching part, but the PR part will be taken care of.
Thank you so much, Nandita ji. And we have a very interesting personality with us, Mr. Prasad. So he is from Kellogg's. All of us know Kellogg's is the business school for sales. So you give anything, they can sell anywhere in the world. So may I request, he runs also a tech company called our partner, University of Emerging Technologies. And we thought every startup who are doing whatever the prototype, they should get certified. Tech validation. That's what he is going to talk about, how it will be unique, your startup will be unique, and what you are doing also, how it can be reached out to larger audience. Yes, over to you.
Thank you, sir. First of all, good evening. I know I'm pretty much the last speaker of the evening, and a lot of people have already left. You are the captive audience I can't lose. And why I'm saying this is very difficult to be either the first speaker or the last speaker. You know, it's very difficult. Being the last speaker, you know, in fact, I should really congratulate all of the speakers before me because they've spoken very well. They've spoken pretty much everything. But the last speaker, I don't know what I should speak, right? This is exactly, I can relate with you as a founder, startup owner, right? What happens with you is exactly the same, right? You know, but am I really the first one doing it? Am I missing something? You know, there's always self-doubting, second-guessing, self-doubting, and all that stuff that happens. And also, this reflects when you go to an investor, or not even an investor, anybody, when you try to pitch this, okay? And so I think, I really congratulate Sahoo and the rest of the team, is that they are trying to bridge this chasm that you got to cross, where you feel confident that you would, get an elevator pitch. You know what is an elevator pitch? Going from the first floor to third floor, it takes probably 30 seconds. You should be able to tell your story. That's one thing. Second thing is, be very clear. I've been hearing from all of the speakers now, be very clear in what you're trying to do and whether there is a problem. If there is no problem, find a problem and try to pivot into things. For example, this gentleman was talking about celebrations, right? And I was just thinking, okay, now if I pivot this way, right? You could actually be a local Airbnb. Right? For example, it's not only the celebration. Suppose you want to get away and celebrations. Just I'm throwing an idea, right? So you could think of it. Basically, what you're trying to do is taking private properties. Just, you know, for all you know how Oyo has started, right? And you know where it started? In Raigada, in Odisha. You know, nobody would ever have thought. I passed through Raigada many a time, and a guy who has failed intermediate. Okay? But the point is, again, you know, all he did was, he thought there are some startups that are, you know, really struggling. There are some hotels that are really struggling to market. Because as somebody was talking about, fragmentation of market, right? So because they don't have a representation. So he started that. But how did he come to that idea? Because he has been thinking about it quite a lot, and no formal education. But soon after he did one or two, somebody caught hold of him and really educated him. Now he's running a multi-billion-dollar business, right? But the point is, what I'm trying to say is, nobody is what you call unfit for a startup. A startup can be started anywhere, including Raigada in Odisha, right? And by anybody. So first thing that you have to think, that as Sahoo was saying, you can do it. You will run a goddamn enterprise, a $1 billion one, very soon. You have to just find it, one thing. The confidence. And also MSR has really put it very nicely, the 5 T's. Okay, so you may think that it's so easy, okay, 5 T's, blah, 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 but as Sir was saying, it is so difficult to get all the boxes ticked. And even after doing that, you may not be doing it the right way. But don't be don't be disheartened as I feel it, because everybody goes through the same problem, and I myself, a startup owner, and I also go through the same thing. Although I've been to the marketing school of the world, Kellogg School of Management. If you have done MBA, you would have seen, the whole world follows Philip Kotler book on marketing. And Philip Kotler he taught a class for me also, right? So it's a very, very thing. But knowing theory doesn't mean anything. Even joining through a cohort and getting the training doesn't mean anything. But at the end of the day, you are the actor. You are the hero. You are the villain. You are everything in it. It's your show at the end of the day. So where do I come into picture? There is University of Emerging Technologies. We are a complementary university. We are not a degree bearing yet. We are a complementary university. We give certifications with a world-class, recognition. We are accredited by American Council on Education and all that stuff. But this one is local, but we will try to do that. We'll also make sure there is a methodology, and we have online labs if there are some exercises that you need to do, some quizzes that you need to answer. All those can be put into this. And we will enforce that methodology, people like it or not, because so that we all have, because all these people are so wonderful. They have gone through a lot of methodologies and a lot of structure in what they're trying to do. And I hope we will also be continuing to do that, and I'll make sure that we'll do it. And we will give you a certification at the end of it, and we'll do the assessments and all that, and we'll follow the assessments through this. And also, in addition to that, if, let us say, some startups need some skills in emerging tech or any other tech. In fact, I was talking to Sahoo, we can also bring some other management skills into this as well. And we've got stalwarts like these people who can actually take you through the promised land. Okay, I think that is where we are going to help. I personally will assure you that you will really be a different person when you walk out of this cohort. Confident, clear, and very, very, very crisp. Exactly what you have to do. And no matter what you do, I tell you one thing, no matter what you do in life, all you do is sell yourself. You sell an idea to your mom when you're a kid, or your girlfriend, or something like that, anybody, because you have to know what you're trying to do and what is that you want to get out of it. Please continue to improve your marketing and sales skills. And even when you're reaching out to the investors, that's what you're trying to do. You're selling your idea. But I'm really, really congratulating all of you who are online and here as well. But congratulations. Wish you good luck. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, sir. Good. Yep. So I'll tell you a small mantra that I learned in the school. So when you get an idea, right, you write this, a statement. We call it the holy grail of marketing statement of the company. I'm doing so and so, so and so, right? So and so, so and so. In addressing blah, 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 blah. One sentence it has to come. Better than blah, 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 blah. That now you know. So again, I'm doing blah, so and so, so and so, so and so, and addressing the so and so blah, blah, blah customers better than blah, blah, blah other brands which are relatable. So if you can write that very crisply, you had it. So now you know who your competitors and what are the things that features that you're trying to sell and what you're exactly selling. That is your marketing. And then, of course, MyStartup TV or anybody can give you some videos and all that stuff and social media and, all these things are pretty normal. But write yourself a statement very, very clearly. I mean, if I can say, I don't know. Maybe you would agree. Right? Anything else, sir? Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, Nandita ji, you want to address? We'll close, or maybe you can declare, or maybe we can consider them for the cohort, whatever maybe perspective building.
Yeah, sure. So as we close in, if there are any queries, questions from any of the experts here, once again, welcome for that. And we can, you can think about the PitchAlchemy, and this program is very focused towards fundraising. Okay, so if you are at that stage where you think that you can raise funds, this is the program for you, because going on your own and looking at funding, the market is really not, it is a difficult market, and the startup market itself is a difficult market. But here you get a lot of hand-holding and a lot of resources, a tech platform, PR, and everything put together, and I would strongly recommend this for those who are looking for funding. So I think for everything further, we are available for you to ask us anything, questions later also, or contact us later if you want to join the program. Right?
Yeah, Nandita ji, what we can do, maybe I liked their passion, and they came all the ways to hear us out.
I've seen,
and you have a wonderful business model.
We thought of
and
this.
you join the program, will help you out. And I'll make sure you please join the program.
It's a very good
Rest
idea.
assured.
Yeah.
And because your people are really serious, we have invited large number of people. But you join the program.
Sir also has a lot of good startups.
Yes.
I think he is representing his startups from SRIX Warangal.
Yes.
So he is the CEO of the SRIX incubator at Warangal. Wow. Sir.
Yes.
So he has come and he is representing his startups here. Some very good startups in his portfolio, I should say, in his incubator.
Want to say a
few words?
What you want to say? What is the main problem in funding? And of course,
give us the feedback. How did we do?
How do you think the program is, and is there anything we can?
All right, it's a program and it's got to be sold. So you got to focus on marketing it. That is the thing. As a platform, I haven't seen anything like this, and I've seen many platforms. So this is quite awesome, no doubt about that. And you all will have to have the, what shall I say, the patience, the resilience. In fact, the patience. Your problem with startups is they're impatient. I know this. I know my pitch. What does the investor want to know? What is my product? What is my target? This is my traction. This is all that the investor wants to know. I don't need to go all this fancy thing and all that. तो मेरे को investor के सामने बिठा दो, अपना commission ले लो, खत्म करो बात को. This is a startup mentality. All right. And this is exactly what MyStartups also told me. Sir, 8-week program. Product है, सब कुछ है, सब तैयार है, कुछ नहीं. Sir, we are there. एक सक्सेसफुल नेगोशिएट करते हैं and show the investors to us and we'll close the deal there. Okay. So, because startups know everything. So, till the startups get humble about it and they are willing to learn what they do not know about it. There is that thing that वो बड़ा एक famous triangle है, वो Goldman का I know you know, I know you don't know something. उसमें तो चौथा वाला होता है. Nobody knows. I don't know what I don't know. That so कुछ है something. You get the idea. So
platform का open करो.
Johari window. So that fourth column of is where the startups will be outside of their product knowledge. They are strong on their product knowledge. Because if they have reached that far, they have put in a lot of effort that needs to be appreciated and respected. But this aspect they do not know. And so that Ballav ji has put together such a thing. Platforms कई लोग बना लेते हैं. There are other platforms. In this T-Hub, you'll find 2 more people with platforms like this on various floors. We know them. But nobody has put investors together. Nobody has put investors together. I have not been to an occasion where an investor has spoken. All right. So you can imagine the kind of background work that has gone into it and is being offered on a platter And it is up to startups to make the most of it. Otherwise, sir, wonderful platform, wonderful collaborations. I mean, they got all bases covered. They got all bases covered. And this should be a perfect, platform for the moonshots after this. So, which is there, yes. So, great job. I mean, Biplab Saab and Aplok Saab. Okay. But have the patience, have the faith, and also know that everything does not succeed totally. It is, you are in a startup, there is a risk-taking thing. Don't ask for guarantees from them. That doesn't, nothing works like that. There are no guarantees. It's a process we go through. And somebody has made a very good process. Nothing like this exists so far in India. Okay. Thank you. Not in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So thank you so much for your kind words. I'll give my introduction about me. I don't tell I'm a startup. I have invested, I want to tell you how many millions. Last 15 years. 2010, we have done R&D in IIT Madras and Stanford. And that's what the outcome. And in India, we found it's a jugaad country. Let me tell you, because a small audience, we are getting recording and it will go to millions of people. And thanks you so much being with us. You have to change your proper mindset. In India, it's a transaction country. Transaction you understand, not transformation. Everything is easy doing. You give and I take, or I take, you give. And there's a community, large number of communities, nothing innovation is there in this country. You tell me any of these items is getting innovated or invented in India. No. Nothing. Even if not this one also. Not this one also. Even not this one also, or Bindi. I'm sorry. So we have done lots of study in Japan, in China, Indonesia, Malaysia, US, how this country can survive. Maybe Modi ji can talk about 30 billion, it's not possible. I'm openly telling you. If you are not an innovation company, like what you are doing, something very innovative in nature, which will bring transformation for urban innovations. Something very unique. And how, like we appreciate his idea, urban innovation. You look at all of our what you can say family, mothers, elderly, they stay at home, they don't do anything, most of them, if they are not working women. There is a critical mass is available in India if they get involved in your project. कैसे उगाएंगे अपना vegetables? This is something very unique. And these are the real, I'm not talking something invented, but these innovations can solve lots of problems. And that's what if we go to Japan, these things are available. You go to China. And I don't know, maybe I don't disagree or agree what the skincare innovations are happening. Maybe whatever the luxury product is all people's preference, whether they want to use or not use. Our focus, why you are given as a Bharat Innovation Enterprise Lab, we want to help who are people are innovative in mind for next century, 100 years. We have done study 2045 before Modi ji or all people are talking. I was mentored by APJ Abdul Kalam. 2025, 2095. We have created a vision how the country will look like 2095 through this platform. And there is a proper structure we have built. Nobody can say no. If you'll go through this platform, you'll get all idea as a guided intelligence. As a guided intelligence, you'll got everything like a mentor, support to groom or nurture your startup. It's a very comprehensive, we have lakhs of recommenders, other things. I'm not promoting our platform. What we are trying to do, this country should be innovative in nature for the survival. And your haldi also, turmeric does not belong to India. Hope you know that. Is patented by US. All rice, everything you say anything, sir, you will be agree with me, correct? What? There is no patents are there available in this India. Joho is talking to compete with $1 billion company to compete with, you know what is Microsoft turnover. So my humble request, thank you so much. We really appreciate joining. Nandita ji, we really appreciate. We can consider all of them for joining our program, whatever may be. Let's discuss about that. And I don't know how to thank and I don't have really know what's. Out of 42 people, they are the serious people. What investor they look at time. I saw all of you are there at 3 o'clock. The discipline and dedication. I can put my money. See, I can put my money if somebody is saying they are not putting on your product, not your services. They look at your discipline. They look at dedication. Maybe I forgot to tell, our organization name is Human Potential Development Science. So they look at your dedication, they look at your credibility, they look at your trustworthiness. अरे चलो इसमें fail हो गया तो does not matter, और कुछ कर लेगा आदमी, चलो does not matter. जोश है, passion है. So that is what we see really, and we appreciate. My gratitude to all of you. And closing remarks, Nandita ji, if you want to ask few things, maybe you can ask them few words, and we can record. And then we can close the maybe two sentence. Each can say whatever the program, what they felt. Then you can. Thank you so much.
So you want to add something? How you feel about the program? Come. So what is your perception of this PitchAlchemy program? How do you see it?
See, as I mentioned, like my biggest problem is like, we just developed product. We were reaching out to the market. So we were doing some few sales and we were bookings. But to be frank, like really we are finding very hard to reach investors, especially who are in our domain expertise. Plus, like as you mentioned, that my conversation with the investor is like very bad. So I really wanted to look up, and I just wanted to see. I have a big vision, but that doesn't mean anything until unless something is worked. Until unless like somebody really helped me to get it out. I'm really hoping I'm best for me to try and at least reach the place that I wanted to be. And thank you so much. Like this is like I feel like grateful to
as
this.
you leave, what do you want the investment for? I just want to know this. Exactly how are you going to use the investment? What do you need it for?
So we wanted to, since it's a marketplace platform, we were three things that needs to be filled. One is supply side, another is on demand side, and third thing is like technology side. So these are the three places we really wanted to fill this investment.
So you mean to say you want to create the demand? So you want to market?
No, firstly we wanted to onboard the supply. So our vision, we have to
procure the villas or whatever.
Yeah, so we wanted to onboard at least 1,500 properties next 6 months. 1,500 properties, all combination of villas, properties, and mini theaters. And mini banquet halls.
Sure.
So this is our vision to acquire 1,500 properties, and we have to do good, in terms of demand. So we wanted to have minimum of 15 days bookings on all these 1,500 properties. So this is what we were looking for. Sure. It's been like 1 month since we started. We were doing very less number now, so we were like close to 30 bookings now. But this doesn't make any sense since we don't have
to increase the number.
Yeah, a lot. So our average is 15. That's what we were looking for. But also we're lacking at funding and reaching out to the investors. But since we don't have,
I think funding is one part, but also strategy.
Yeah.
See, once you make the right strategy and put it across, funding will become much easier. So the strategy of how you are going to actually market it and get revenues. Once that is sure, I think funding is not far away.
Yeah, thank you. So I hope.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
You can just introduce yourself quickly.
So my name is Vijay. I work in an IT organization. I manage BFSI engagements. So as a side hustle, I'm managing this business. I've started this enterprise called Vatica Organica, which is.
So you're working as well as you're.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So it is a green space organization. So we, the intention was to create green spaces in apartments, villas, commercials. Then we also have a segment called kitchen garden. Then we also do organic farming. So anything under green space, I think we try to add value in that. and would like to thank PitchAlchemy and you, all of you industry leaders, to share all this information, which is very useful. In the current state of things, I have listed out a few things, specifically on the strategy, on the marketing side, and definitely on the product side, processes side, and application development are the few things that I'm working on, just to increase the reach. And also maybe in the next 1 quarter, we are trying to build a customer base of around 2,000 people in Hyderabad, so that we expand further. And once we build an application, like something like an Uber application, where we would be able to connect the customers with well professionals who can make green spaces efficiently.
Like we can hire gardeners and other landscaping professionals on your platform, as well as plants and other things.
Yes, everything under green space, whether it's as you said, all of those, and anything under kitchen garden.
Maintenance,
everything will be taken care. So what I found as a problem statement is, I think the people who manage plants definitely want to have some amount of greenery at home, but there is definitely an issue with expertise, time. Are two things I've found that they don't have it. So how do we help them, solve this problem where they are also happy? And this is a thought where we wanted to build this business. Yeah.
So we congratulate you for this.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Forward that if you are funding and investments.
No, at this point of time, I'm trying to bootstrap, but definitely at a later stage.
Up will require.
At a later stage, definitely I would definitely need your expertise, where you have a good understanding of the virtual capitalists and the investors. What's your thought, and how do we go through the Shark Tank?
Yeah. You
at a later stage.
Yeah,
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Today was
so
a
much.
great session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. So want to come quickly, madam, and you're also there, right? My sir has already spoken. Come. Yeah.
Hi.
Come here. It's being recorded, so yeah. You just introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Dr. Neelima. I'm from N-Mantra. We are actually into organic skin and hair wellness products. And at this point of time, we are trying to scale up and get funded and scale up. So, yeah.
So, for what exactly do you require funding for? Scaling up, or
scaling up? Yes.
Some more product development, innovation, or something.
Product innovation will happen eventually as we go into the market. There are a lot of products which we have in pipeline, which will be launched into the market soon. Yes.
So basically scaling up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what is the quantum of money you are looking at?
We are looking at around 5 crores right now. Yes.
Your uniqueness of your products?
We are into completely chemical-free products, and which are very safe and effective on the skin, and which would address whatever issue you're buying the product for. Like you're buying a hair oil for hair fall, that will fix. And if you're buying a product for dry skin, it will be fixed. So
you can also say your background. She's from
I'm a biochemist basically, and I have a PhD from University of Hyderabad, and I've done a couple of postdocs in the US.
Which year? University of Hyderabad?
University of Hyderabad, I was between 2000 and 2003. So,
and in US you did some?
Yes, I have done a couple of postdocs in the US, and that was my main research area was cancer research. I was into cancer drug designing and anti-aging research. So being in that field, I kind of figured what not to use in products. So that's the reason I developed my own skincare line. And my son had eczema, and then I kind of figured that none of the products available in the market are fixing it. So they're just covering it up and addressing to the symptoms to some extent, but not actually curing.
Removing or
curing. Not actually helping in any way. So that's the reason I started off making my own formulations and products. So
the brand is very unique. Yeah, N Mantra is the brand.
So our another policy we follow in our formulations is minimal ingredients. We don't add too many ingredients, and we don't add ingredients to actually keep it stable. So our products are all 1 year shelf life. They have 1 year shelf life, And all the ingredients are just required to keep the product intact and address the issue. So,
without any chemicals.
without any chemicals, yes.
Good luck, good luck. Thank you, thank you. Come. So the last one, and then just introduce yourself quickly.
Hello everyone, I am Karthik. I am the co-founder of Forte Technologies. So we are building a B2B SaaS. So it's an integration of deep tech and HR tech. So it addresses the problem of employee attrition and retention. So we are trying to solve this problem in large companies. We are currently targeting companies of sizes between 100 to 200 employees. So that it's a proactive measure. It's a tool to identify the employees who are leaving the company, so that the company doesn't face any loss due to retraining, rehiring costs. So this is about our company and what we do.
Some kind of a continuity from when people leave. Is it
not like it's not a reactive based approach, it's a proactive based approach. So before they leave, we'll be identifying these will be the potential employees who are they have more probability of leaving the company. We are addressing the problem of attrition, basically employee attrition.
Okay, is AI being used in that?
Yeah, it's a combination of AI and HR tech as well.
HR tech and AI.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you looking for funding?
Yeah, currently we are a pre-revenue startup. We are looking for funding as it's an AI-based company. We are seeking funding for hardware optimizations and cloud-based integrations as well. So for that purpose, we are looking for funding.
Yeah, we have one University of Emerging Technologies here. I think even technicalities also can be, the kind of mentorship can be sought and funding as well. So,
name your company?
Forte Technologies. Forte AI Technologies.
Forte AI.
Forte AI.
Recommend to all startups. Vatika Organics.
N mantra.
The point is, when next time you introduce yourself, I am Forte AI, FORTE AI.
Be clear.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with you.
He tells me his name now, except spelling R-A-N-G, Acharanjan. All right. Because there is, I didn't got what your company's name is.
Villa Fest. So when
if you just say VILLAFEST, Villa Fest, got it.
Identity, whatever. Identity.
I totally agree with him, and that's why storytelling and clarity is going to be the main.
This is what he means, okay.
And also your problem and solution don't come out clearly, then what are you doing that should come out clearly, okay? So I think this cohort is going to, I'm not marketing it, but clarity is one of the hallmarks of this program, where clarity and precision, with precision you have to bring out what's your problem, what's your solution, what are you into, what's your differentiator. And like he said, what is the trench you are building, what is it, that moat or trench that you have. Those 3-4 points come out, it doesn't matter if you don't go into details and all. Those 4-5 things with clarity, which shows how important this startup is for the future. Thank you. Thank you. No? You want to just introduce yourself?
No.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So I think with this, I thank you all very much for coming. Please join us for tea. And yeah, thanks a lot.
Congratulations, Saji.